Welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast. We're Anne and Bree, and this podcast is going to be your go-to destination for indie reads. We highlight incredible indie authors, explore new worlds, and introduce you to books that you won't find anywhere else. Tune in for your next read, a laugh, and a share in the joy of finding your home. Hello and welcome to the Broke Book Girls podcast, your go-to destination for indie reads, the podcast that is good for the soul but bad for your TBR. Today we're talking to a very special someone, but before we get into that, let's get straight into this episode starting with our current reads. What are you currently reading, Bree?
Well, I just finished literally 3 a.m. on Friday, The God Genome by Athena and Bliss. I had some words for Athena yesterday. And today. Emotionally traumatized. I was sitting there going, where's the rest of my fucking book? So I just finished that, and then I've just started, I'm starting Splintered Kingdom.
Oh, yay! I'm so excited.
I've pulled that one up, and I've also got a non-indie book that I've started, which is The Things Gods Break by Abigail Owen. I'm diving into that one as well. So, I got to have a Kindle and I have to have a physical going, because if I don't want to read the Kindle, then I can read on the physical, and I'm not traumatized by my Kindle anymore. I've got positive associations with it.
Yay!
Taken me so long. Thanks to my friend Ben, who's in Japan at the moment, bitch. Anyway, Anne, what are you reading?
I'm currently reading Stitched Up in You by Jacqueline Hyde. This is the third book in the Monster Bay series. So this is following like a different sort of, book one was following Dracula and him falling in love with an influencer who ends up accidentally turning up at his hotel that he's running. And then we're following book two is like a werewolf. Book three, the one that I'm reading right now, is Frankenstein. And he's like this multi-million-dollar billionaire sort of guy who's like, ends up having to track down this person who's like kind of hacked into his company, and it's the person that he finds is like this really attractive woman, and it's going to be their love story. So I'm really enjoying it so far, and it's a lot of fun. Yes, that just released, but it was a lot of fun and I'm really enjoying it. So today we're joined by Demi Clorissa, the author of an amazing dark fantasy that both Bree and I have loved, and we can't wait for book two.
I read it in a day, by the way, Demi. I read it in a day.
Wow, that took me like 18 months to write, so sorry. You gotta just slow down.
No.
So, Demi, please introduce yourself. Tell us why you're here, who you are, what books you write, all that kind of thing.
All right, well, I'm Demi. I'm a dark romantic fantasy author. Emphasis on the dark world, not the dark romance. I'm a Wiradjuri woman, so I'm Indigenous to Australia. I come from Brisbane, sunny Queensland, for those who don't live in Australia. I was a really big, voracious reader for a really long time, and then I thought, why not write a book? I used to write lots of awkward Lord of the Rings fanfic. When I was a teenager. It was self-inserting.
I was the same.
Yeah, I was so self-inserting. It's always like, oh, Aragorn and Legolas are fighting over me. Oh my god.
Who am I?
It's nothing to do with the plot. It's just like them fighting over me. But I'm here to chat all things books. And I'm currently reading The Irresistible Urge to Fall in Love with Your Enemy. Is that the whole title?
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that one, yep.
Yeah, I'm reading that one, and I'm reading Worthy of Fate, which I met the author. I just come back from Chicago from a book event called Book Harvest, and I met the author there, and I was like, I bought the special edition, so I was like, I gotta read it on my Kindle so I can keep the special edition nice. But yeah, that one's really fun. Yeah.
The special edition is always just the shelf trophy. You have to read it somewhere else.
Yeah, people who read their special editions are like, madness. I'm like, what are you doing? Because I break a book. When I read it, I crack spines, I fold pages, and I'm like, I don't want to do that for any of my special editions.
You just don't want to risk it. Absolutely not. Amazing. We're so happy to have you join us today to talk about all things books and indie. But before we get into our interview questions, we are going to do our rapid fire 60-second questions. So random little questions that just to get you to know you a little bit deeper. We don't want any explanations, just the first thing that kind of pops into your head.
Oh,
I'm going to put a 60-second timer on. Bree is going to, once she's finished eating, she's going to start asking you the questions. Do be warned, there is one in here that will catches everyone off guard.
Ooh, okay,
and we do have a new time to beat as of Sheila Masterson's episode, which is 51 seconds.
51 seconds, okay, all right.
Let me just, she's quick. Alrighty, I'll get my timer pulled up.
I'm eating because I'm living off of a burger from this morning and 3 donuts since this afternoon because my blood sugar was like, boom. So you guys get another great episode of me eating after an event or doing something.
Yeah, it's fine. We're casual around here. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. 3, 2, 1, go.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Kindle or physical?
Physical.
Villain or hero?
Villain, obviously.
Favorite book?
The Cruel Prince by Holly Black.
Favorite food?
Sushi.
Spice or no spice in books?
Spice.
Sweet or savoury?
Savoury.
Romance or thriller?
Romance, obviously.
Comedy or mystery?
Mystery.
Morning or night?
Morning.
Lots of garlic or not lots of garlic?
What was that one?
Lots of garlic or not lots of garlic?
Oh, lots of garlic, of course.
Iced or hot drink?
Iced.
Movies or TV shows?
Movies.
Call or text?
Oh, text, obviously.
City or country?
Country.
Done.
2 seconds to spare.
Oh, yes.
We did it before we ran out of time.
That's the main thing.
I was like, oh my god. I was like, don't think about this too hard, Debbie.
We did it one time, and I think I literally just said the first thing that popped into my brain. Not even if it was the right answer, I just said. I was like, I don't even think that was right.
I was like garlic. I was like, what are we doing talking about garlic? I was like, oh my god.
It's an important question.
It is an important question. Do you not like flavour? If you don't like garlic, what are you going
right?
What's going on?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. We had one person who was like, no garlic, not lots of garlic, and we were like,
we love you, Janessa.
Yeah, we do love you. But then she did clarify at the end that it wasn't. She didn't like lots and lots of garlic. She still likes garlic, so we were like, okay, our relationship is still intact. Alrighty, so we're going to get into our big bulk questions all about bookish things and your books. So, Bree, would you like to start us off? Or would you like me to start? Okay.
Let it go eat. Oh my god.
Alrighty, so my first question is, you've done bookish events over in Australia and now in the US, as you've just mentioned. Did you notice much difference, and what were the differences?
Oh, I think there was a huge difference. I have done a lot of Australian events, and I really like doing events. I think events are really fun. You get to meet readers and new readers and other authors and vendors and stuff. But there was I found a really big difference. The difference was that the length of it. So Book Harvest went for 4 days, and it wasn't just, it was a mixture of signings, but a mixture of events as well. And not many signings do that here in Australia. A lot of it's contained to 1 day or 2 days or 3 days if you're supernova and you want to be extra. But oftentimes there's no post-event stuff. And so that was really fun. I had to go and kind of be incognito. Also, it's a little fun as well. So you get to go and kind of be a reader again and be like, oh, this is fun. And also I feel the sales pitch is different. So if people don't know, when you when you come over to an author at a book event, we have a pitch in our little brains, and you go, "Oh, I love your cover," and you're like, "Tell me about your book," and we're like, "It's time! It's time to tell you our pitch." everything that we've worked on the last 18 months, it's going to be in a sentence. And I found that the pitch that I was maybe using in Australia has to kind of be like whittled down to the US, and it was a lot more discussion around tropes, comparative books. For example, like These Shadows Become Her is a kind of like a baby of kind of like The Crimson Moth and A Court of Silver Flames by SJM. So that was a big turning point for people. Like, people just wanted to know the tropes, didn't really want to know the plot, which I kind of get. I go into books just absolute vibes, and then I get in there and I'm like, this is what it's about. Like, for example, I read Kiss the Basilisk, and I was like, is this what this is about? Because everyone's like, don't read the blurb, and I was like, oh, I don't read blurbs anyway. I just go in.
You raw dog.
I was like, that book raw dogged me. So, and I was like, what have I got myself into? Me reading like the conference.
Well, I remember when it was indie, it was called like Spit or Swallow or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then it got like trad published, and they had to change the name, obviously.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's insane.
But like, it got me out of like a 6-month reading slump, which is like so wild to me. Like, I was like, this is exactly what I needed. And like, there was times where I was like reading in bed, and I was like chanting, like, I was like, Effie's dad. I was like, oh, me. Oh my god. It is so wild. But yeah, and that's what I found different. As the pitches had to be a little bit different. A lot of people were really after special editions, and I probably have controversial ideas around special editions, and all books need a special edition. And like, indie publishers already front a lot of cost to like publish books, like, really, and the expectation of some readers to be like, no, you don't have a special edition, I don't really want to buy your book. It's kind of whack and wild to me, but that's just the model of the industry at the moment. Like, I was in like a bookstore, and I was like, every book here has a sprayed edge. And like, in Australia, we don't get that really at all. Well, we're getting more of it, definitely more of it now. But I was like, every book has a sprayed edge. I was like, oh my god, this is wild. I was like, and then those are big trad publishing companies, and then the expectation of little indie authors like myself to do the same kind of production is pretty wild. But like, it works for some people, and some people have incredible, beautiful special editions. So maybe one day. So, but that's the kind of differences I found. Yeah. And it was just also huge. Everyone just was like hectic. Everyone was like really intense. Intense in a good way. Intense in a I love reading, and like, please tell me more about your book. There was like these two beautiful girls. They were like, have you seen those little crates? And they're like people wheel them around events, and they're like,
yes, book crates. Those are brilliant.
Yeah, everyone had those, because why would you carry books these days? Like, you need one of those.
Yeah.
But these two girls were wheeling them around, and they sat down at my table, and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm doing a presentation now. And I was like pointing to my better, and I was like, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, show those girls? And I was like, no. And I was like, that was so beautiful and fun. And it was like such a, like, and it gave me the ability to be a bit more like relaxed and off the cuff. Because sometimes your pitches are like, you have 5 seconds to like convince this reader to read your book, and you're just like, I can feel you, Lee. I can feel your interest like disappearing as I talk more.
No, I love that. They just like casually just sat down and were like, tell us more. That would be me.
PowerPoint presentation time.
Yeah, I literally felt like I was doing a presentation. I was like, do you guys want a snack, like a water or something? I don't know.
I have like a 2-day-old sour candy you can have.
Yeah. Oh, luckily I had lots of Australian like lollies, so that was a big draw. And I was like, just help yourself to some lollies, and I was like, it was like just so hectic. So I was like, oh, this is fun. It's just like refreshing.
Yeah, that's what you need. Honestly, it's actually really encouraging to have that happen.
Yeah, and they're just like so friendly, and so like everyone was beautiful and friendly though. That was like the grace of doing this America trip. was like all the readers, all the authors, everyone was like so beautiful and lovely and welcoming, and you could hear my bloody ochre Australian accent like from across the room. So someone's like, "I heard there's an Australian author here," and I was like, "Well, there's a few of us, two of us, or three of us, sorry," and and I was like, you can hear me across the room.
Hey, whatever gets people at your table.
I know. They were like, gosh, they're like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, Australia." They're like, "Oh my god." It was a selling point though, which is nice. They're like, I was like,
this is where you say, "I just have a voice that demands to be heard."
yeah, exactly.
That's what I say about my voice, because I'm very loud. You can hear me across a room. And I was like, I just have a voice that needs to be heard, like, and you're not going to be able to shut me up anyway, so you just let me start talking anyway. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That's really interesting. I'd love to actually go over to one of those like conventions over in the US and just to see the difference, because I haven't really been to many here. But then I also want to go to Australia because there's a lot of Australian authors that I want to go meet because they won't come to New Zealand.
Well, there's like a few big New Zealand events coming. So you've got
which is exciting.
Romantic Adventure, which I think is in Christchurch. I'm going to that. I probably should know where it is. And then you've got, I think it's Books and Brimstone.
Yes, one of my good friends is actually helping run that, and I'm very excited for that one.
Is that the Erin is helping with that one?
Yeah.
I commented on something, and I was like, time to book my ticket. She's like, it's happening in Auckland, and I'm like, I totally knew that. 100%.
Yes, it's happening in Auckland. Yeah. So I'm very excited for that one. Yeah.
That's so great though. Like to have people like, I love going over to New Zealand, and it's like so nice to have people come and experience New Zealand, and especially like US authors who like maybe have never had the like opportunity to travel like that.
Yeah.
And it's not too different from like the US. Like it's a little different, but not too different. But yeah, no, it's really exciting. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I get into Books of Brimstone. Fingers crossed, so I can come back over.
Yes, absolutely. I will personally go and tell Erin that you need to be accepted.
Okay, like, thank you.
This is my one author. Like, come on.
It's like I know somebody, but it's so funny. No, so funny. When I was at the event in Chicago, we were like getting in line. Like me and my husband was my assistant, and we were getting in line and stuff like that. And they were like, "Are you an author?" They're like, "No, just cut the line." And like there's all this stuff. And then I was like, "Oh no," I felt a bit like diva-ish if I was like, just like go like, "I'm an author. Bye, everyone."
But excuse me.
Yeah, I'm like, don't you know who I am?
Next shot, author coming through.
But like, think I got something signed for my friend by Brian Weaver, and she had like stopped signing for the day. She was ticketed. That was huge. I wasn't gonna get a ticket in line. I had to be at my table anyway. Besides the point, and I was like, at the end of the day, and I was like, oh, she stopped signing, and I was like, I won't be annoying, and I would just like be like, hey, to the volunteer, I was like, is she signing tomorrow morning? Because it was like an hour where like authors and assistants got to shop. And they're like, oh no, just go over now. And I was like, I was like, oh my god, special treatment for me. And then the volunteers are like, just do what you want. You're an author. And I was like, I can't just do what I want. That's not how this
like
works.
that's just giving me too much leeway.
I know. And I was like, I don't want to be a diva. I don't want to be like, excuse me, I need to cut the line. So yeah, that was the shocking part. They're like, you're an author, do what you want. And I was like, could I murder somebody and I get away with it?
Probably.
Yeah.
The amount of authors there that probably know how to hide a body.
I don't know. I think I'd be a pretty bad murderer. To be quite honest.
Pig farm.
True.
I'm not going to say the rest of my sentence.
Maybe you should. Get those
after recording.
After recording, we can't have any evidence.
Look, I'm dying.
Oh my gosh.
I'm good. Now that I'm not eating my food, what inspired the shadows become her?
I get this question asked a lot, and I like had to really think about it because I was writing my debut, which is been subsequently like unpublished, and I just needed like a brain break. And I was actually like outside playing with my dog, and I was like, oh, would it be fun to like write like grief? And I was like, this would be really fun to write grief and to run in a sense of a fantasy world. Like there's lots of grief in like lit fic, in like contemporary romance. But I was like, in like have this whole story circle around this girl who doesn't really know who she is, outside of like what this world tells her who she is. And I was like, oh, that'd be really fun. And then I wrote 10 chapters, which are they're still the 10 chapters that are today. They had like like a little tweaking here and there, but pretty much the 10 chapters. And then I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if she was like literally only like one of her kind left? And I was like, oh, she has to be a witch. And I think I was really inspired when I was writing it, by like storytellers like Rebecca Ross and Stephanie Garber, and like this idea of this like really whimsical world, but then like you can have this like dark undertone to it all. And yeah, and I was like, oh, this would be really cool to write about grief and I was like, oh, and I want it to be like I wanted it to be character driven. Like a lot of fantasy, a lot of romantasy. It is romantasy. A lot of romantasy is very action plot driven, because of the way it is. It's usually like the world has to be saved. The world has to be saved in shadows. Like I'm not like above everybody. The world has to be saved. She is the chosen one. Like so like
the one which rule them all.
Yeah, exactly. But I was like, it'd be like cool just to have this like really like this undercurrent of thinking about how grief affects people, how it affects not just you but the whole world around you. Like writing, it was really interesting to write like Henry and Anne's grief and how that kind of that circled around Mia as well, and how they worked with their grief. And then it was nice to then go write, I'm getting ahead of myself, but it's nice to go write The Rose and the Warrior, where they're not like drowning in grief, and you can see them in a different light, and then you can feel the impact of Callie's, spoiler alert, her sister dies. I tell everybody. You can feel like the weight of it of her death throughout the book, and I thought that was really cool. And I also wanted to write a world where they're like the patriarchy ruled. I probably am like a card-carrying feminist, and so like I wanted to write a world where the patriarchy ruled, but in a sense it can be flipped, that there's lots of matriarchal societies that I guess, I don't know where I was going with that sentence. Oh my god, my brain just turned off.
Girl, hard relayed.
Yeah, my brain was like, that's enough speaking for you. Yeah, I want to
No, keep speaking.
Happens more than you think. But yeah, so that was like kind of inspiration. And then I was like, how do I make this interesting? Because you don't want to like write, I call it sad girl fantasy, because I was like, she's really sad throughout this entire book. I don't want it to be all sad. And then I was like, how about, because I wanted Idris, who is like the main love interest, to be like tortured. Of course, he has to be tortured.
Hell yeah.
A little bit. Like, he's not like a romantically mailman character if he's not tortured. But I wanted it to be like they have to do this like buddy cop situation, and because Shadows is like a murder mystery, I was like, they have to solve the crime. I was also watching lots of UK true crime while I was drafting Shadows. So I was like, I have to put all this in.
I love it so much. It was such a delight to read in a day.
Oh, thank you.
I love a buddy cop kind of thing, and it's just like the relationship, and then it was like, it's because I've been in a huge reading slump. Like, it's actually been ridiculous. At one point, I was reading the same book for like 5 episode recordings, and Anne's like, come on, man, just push through. And then I
just pretend you're reading something else. God damn it!
why? I can't do it.
I'm kidding.
But no, it was such like it was. I do love a good buddy cop, and like I've always, and I think that for me stems from watching those kind of shows with my dad on the TV when he first moved to New Zealand. It was all, ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's this? And watching him watch that, so that it was very kind of nostalgic in a sense.
Yeah.
But then, they bang.
Yeah.
They have to. Like, come on.
That's what they're missing in all those shows, those buddy cop shows, is that they just gotta bang.
Yeah. But like, all they bang have you? Okay, I don't know if they bang in. What's that one where he's like? It's got Gillian Anderson in it, and it's a really cool UK true crime where it's like it's like split between she's like the detective searching for him, and then he's a serial killer, and it's like they're like got this like tension between.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
Let me go to Google.
But they have this beautiful tension. Like it's almost like they play cat and mouse, and it's like a will they, won't they? But they never do anything or anything like that. But that was like that's really cool. That's a really cool one.
Dead Boy Detectives? No.
The Fall.
The Fall. That's what it's called.
Set in Northern Ireland. Yeah.
Like that's a really cool true crime. If anyone wants to watch like UK true crime, like that's a really good one to start because it's like this beautiful parallel between him trying not to get caught. He's a serial killer, so it's no spoilers. And then her trying to catch him and how they almost cross paths and very beautiful. But you've got that. But they kind of got to. They kind of like you can't have like this romantic-y buddy cop situation and they not bang. Like they kind of
exactly. Like they're together all the time trying to solve this murder. Like
the law.
They just have to.
They gotta bang.
I don't make the rules. Actually, I do, but they.
Yeah, but some rules are meant to be followed.
But
So, speaking on grief, your depiction of grief in These Shadows Become Her was so raw and visceral and like so much pain and like you could truly feel it. She really struggles, Mia. Why did you decide to depict grief in that way? Because there's so many different ways to go about it.
Yeah. I really like the idea of this kind of like before Callie died, Mia's kind of already spiraling. Like she's already kind of had this like period of being like really not well, and like starting to use alcohol and sleeping around to kind of like cope with the kind of the shame of not being chosen, and like kind of like loss of who she is. And I think I wanted it to feel really real. Like I'm very fortunate in my life to not have experienced grief in a sense of how Mia has felt it. I've never lost anyone very close to me. I've had very near misses, but never really anyone close. So I was like, I really wanted it to feel real, and I wanted it to feel less like her just being like angry at the world and more about just like she's just sad about it. She's like lost her best friend, she's lost her sister, she's like lost her body autonomy in a sense with her little agreement with Luke. And so she's just trying to like, get through it. And like it's the idea of like then that grief compounds on her like that she's not enough. And I think that's a really real feeling that a lot of us feel. This idea of like not being enough for the world, not being enough for a partner, job, whatever. And I wanted to make that feel really real. I spent a lot of time crying in this book. I don't know why. I am a big crier.
I can tell you why.
The pain.
Suffering.
It's like this RSPC. So there's this like Telstra ad. It comes out at Christmas and it always plays at the cinema. And it's like this like reindeer needs to get home. And I like cry every time I watch it. So like I am a crier, but this book like brought something out. There's scenes where I wrote through like actual like heaving cries, and maybe it's like a therapeutic thing, like getting it out. But like I had my own personal struggles with alcoholism at a really young age, as I feel maybe a lot of young Australians did. So like mine was to a more serious of an extent, but the idea of like having then to like have this like abyss that you can't fall back into.
Mm.
And that me is like really self-aware. Like for someone who's like, I probably made her a little bit too self-aware because she's like, oh, I can't do this. This is gonna like fuck everything up essentially. I don't know if I can swear.
No,
But like,
no, girl,
Sorry.
you are good. You are good. Go for fucking gold.
so she's like kind of like everything kind of goes tits up, and she's like, oh, I can't fall back into what I did because that wasn't helpful and that wasn't healthy. And I think that's very self-aware for her. But yeah, I think those struggles a lot of people go through. I wanted it to kind of like have this idea of this never being enough, and then but that's okay. That's okay to have those feelings and to kind of live with that in your chest. But to go like, well, how do I work through that? And I think there's a really beautiful scene right at the end of the book with Idris, and she's like, no spoilers, but they found this box and they have to get into the box to get secrets. And Idris is like, I'm so tired of doing this. Like, women are dying. And then Mia's like, how do you think I feel? I do everything, all this for my sister, and it's still not enough. I still can't find this preacher. I still can't solve this crime. And then she's like, I still don't know how to live. Like, all the school Callie wanted me to do was live. I still don't know how to do that. And he's like, I don't know how to do it either. And then it's like, well, how about we learn together? And I think that's a beautiful way to kind of like have that friendship. and have that beautiful like friends are like that. They're like, I don't know how to do this. Let's do it together. And I think I was very mindful of that. Yeah, and I was very mindful about that because I wanted me to have all these people around her that were like who would lift her up because the world is kind of forcing her down. So yeah, does that answer the question? I feel like I rambled.
Yeah, no, that definitely does.
Girl, that answered it, and you're allowed to ramble. Like, we ramble, tangent, side quest, plot twist, topsy-turvy, roller coaster. Hey, where'd that train of thought go?
Yeah.
I really love in These Shadows Become Her, though, because the grief is so prominent throughout the whole thing. Like, she doesn't just magically heal halfway through, or she starts falling in love and then she's like, all good. Like, it is really throughout. Like, yes, she slowly starts to heal. She's starting to figure things out as she goes, but she still has that pain. And I think that's really important to see in stories, because it's not like, oh, you fall in love or you start banging this really hot vampire and everything's fine. It's
Your
not.
life is cured. No, it's not. And I think that was really important. I did that really purposefully because grief just doesn't stop. Just because you fall in love or because you're banging a beautiful vampire that you can't be with for certain reasons. But those things, and it continues into book 2. Like, she has other things she's prioritizing other stuff. Like in book 2, like she's like, shit's going down, but like there's like moments where she's like, it's still there. The pain of losing Callie is still there, and I think that's a really important thing with a theme throughout the books, is like this idea of Mia wanting to live and be free of like all these shackles that she like kind of puts on herself. Like, for example, with Luke, that's all Mia, really. She could have said no, and she could just never came back and been like, I'll just paint in my bedroom. But she kind of did that. I don't want to blame her, but like, not blaming her for what happened, but she kind of put that shackle on herself and was like, well, I want to do this. Well, I want to go to the nth degree. I'm going to go to the ends of the earth. And then in the end, she was like, none of this was worth it. Like, none of this pain that I experienced was worth this in the end. And I was like, well, that's the idea of like trying to be free and trying to work out where you can be, like, where you can just like be yourself and and just live, and live a life that you want to live. Like, that's the thing. Like, that was like the live the life that she wants to be. And she's a very reluctant hero. I think by the end of book 2, she's a little less reluctant, but she's very much a reluctant chosen one, because she's like, why me? She's like, I just want to like live in the forest with Idris and have chickens and like paint my little pictures, paint my little portraits, and be like an artistic prodigy. And but yeah, like I think that's really important to show that grief just doesn't stop. But like also, I feel like when I was reading a lot of books that had kind of like losses of siblings or losses of, especially romantasy, I was reading lots to kind of like make sure I was fitting in the right genre and everything was kind of a-okay. But a lot of it was like, oh, they started the quest, and the quest, they don't think about it anymore. And I was like, no, but like if you're lost the person that you connected the most with in the world, or protected you from the world, really, you'd be thinking about them all the time, and like, and like doing things like, I don't want to be like Twilight. It's a ha season, but like it makes sense.
I'm just gonna apologize. My cat is clawing my butt.
Oh no!
Where are you, little shitstone? Fuck off. I'm just getting these as you're talking, like I'm getting these little like in my butt, and I'm like, dude, stop! It's distracting. I'm just getting these claws. I'm sitting on the floor in the lounge because I have the house to myself.
Oh, that's nice. But yeah, so like I think like in No Moon, where she's like seeing like Edward everywhere. I also make allegories to Twilight. If you in every book I will ever write, there'll always be something that is Twilight related. I don't know. I don't do it.
I'm gonna do a reread and I find it.
And it's pretty obvious.
As long as there's no sparkly vampires.
No sparkly vampires. No. But like her trying to see Edward everywhere, even though like that is like insane, but like because they're only in a relationship like 3 seconds. But besides the point, her trying to see Edward is such like a good encapsulation of having your heart broken. You're like, oh, you just do anything to be with them, and then you're like, well, what was on the other side? It's like you can't be with them, like they're gone forever. Like what else can you do? You just gotta keep going on. But yeah. I also like writing emotional damage. I love writing emotional scenes. Like I think.
Well, we love reading it.
We do. We really do. I'm just gonna look in. So touching on grief and trauma. I literally wrote the book's name in like just with the first letter, so it says Chipajish. Guys, it has been a really long day. I wrote this exact question at this question at 11 o'clock last night.
Here we go. Where the brain works the best.
I had to get one of our other authors, Zoe, when I was sitting there at Armageddon with, and I'm like, can you read this question to make sure it makes sense? And she's like, I'm going to fix this for you. So it touches on, you touch on trauma, both the active happenings and overcoming. How was writing that?
Writing me as trauma was quite difficult. I think, like as an author, I think you're right in there with them, and I think you're like a part of you is like I call it maladaptive daydreaming. So when I write, I'm like in the scene. It's like a movie in my head. So like I'm in the scene. Picture this. I'm in bed.
I'm like in the mind of a vampire.
I'm in Luke's office, and Mia's about to get her her life wrecked. But I actually thought because it's dark, it's a dark world. I was like, oh, I probably need to pull back a bit. And I talked a lot to my editor around like, should I make things really graphic? Like I didn't want anything like gratuitous. I didn't want to make it like a gratuitous thing. There's a specific scene in Shadows where I think is probably the accumulation of a lot of Mia's trauma. And it's kind of like Luke, who is this artistic genius. He's like the best artist in the world, and Mia wants to work for him, and she strikes a deal. And he has yeah.
Very much
in the dick. Stab him in the dick.
Yeah. Well, I think he needs to. You'd probably miss it because it's pretty small. Anyway.
I got good aim.
But he so he comes to collect essentially. I'll just say that. And so that was a really difficult scene to write, and I didn't want it to be gratuitous. I didn't want it to be like pages and pages of. And because I was like, oh, this is so gross to write. This is uncomfortable. And so then I was talking to my editor. My editor was like, she's like, no, she's like, this is an important part of me's journey. So trauma, like, and then overcoming that trauma, and so it still affects her in book 2. Obviously, book 2 starts like 30 seconds after book 1 finishes, so she's still like dealing with it, and she deals with it like through the second half of the book, and so like she's like, no, this is a turning point for her, because then she's like, how, she's like, I have to survive, and that's like a idea that she starts thinking about, the idea of surviving all these things that are happening to her, and like happening around her as well, like, and like the effects of those things around her, and like, and like she gets her comeuppance, like she gets a good for her moment, which I think is great.
We support women's rights and women's wrongs and women's revenge.
And she was right in all of those situations.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And look, and the world thought she was right too. She never didn't get arrested. So, so yeah, so that was really important. I think she needed something else needed to happen. Yeah, like losing her sister really early in the book was a really big trauma, but I think something else needed to happen, because it needed to kind of kick off this idea of this Luke becoming this monster and this monstrous act, because like he wouldn't, that's not like a regular person wouldn't do that. I don't know, maybe he would, but like maybe he's monstrous, the monster like aided that kind of, opened that kind of darkness in him.
Very Jekyll and Hyde. That's what I was thinking when I was reading. I was like, this is very Jekyll and Hyde-ish. One feeds into the other to a certain extent.
Yes. And I think that's a really interesting like concept too, because it's like this idea of like he's this like suave, and he's supposed to be this kind of like suave, charming, like artistic young man. Like he's only like in his early 30s, so like, and he's supposed to, and he literally would and he would charm anybody. Like think about he's opening in the shadows. Mia's like talking about this artwork, and she's like so invested in it, and he's literally like, let me draw you in your under things. Like he like he doesn't give no shits. But yeah, and it's that the like idea of his idea of where women belong in the world too, the patriarchy. But yeah, so like that was really fun to write, this idea of him turning into this creature, and that's like no one noticed, which I like no one really everyone was like, he's just an asshole, like this is just who he is.
I mean, not wrong.
Yeah, but like the fact that like everyone's like, he's getting a real like weird twitch. But yeah, and that was really fun. Writing the creatures were really fun, even though you don't really see them very often. These like mysterious vampiric creatures.
Will we see them again?
No, no. So you won't see any Damphia again. You start seeing other creatures. Mostly, not so much in book 2, but in book 3, a few more little like creatures start to come out.
Because I'm just going to turn my light on. Keep talking.
The world's kind of like imploding, so things start coming out of like the universe.
Oh, I'm so excited!
More chaos.
More chaos.
So much more chaos.
So, who inspires your writing? Like, where do you like go to look and kind of?
I love this question, because I have this handful of authors that I like dream of becoming. Like I call them like when I become a big, like they're like when I a grown up author. So the first is oh my god, now my brain has stopped working. Oh my god, how embarrassing.
Anne's asking the hard questions.
I have to look at my
I always ask the hard questions.
I'm like I don't know any authors at all. So
who are you?
Rachel Gillis. Like, what am I doing here?
How did you get here?
I wrote a book. What?
What are books?
Where are we?
So Rachel Gillig is one of my like all-time favorite authors. Night and the Moth it was like such a beautiful read, and it's like one of the books I read coming out of my really big reading slump, and it actually has inspired kind of like a secret project that I can't talk too much about, but for like that's coming after Shadows, and I really like Rebecca Ross, Naomi Novak, Stephanie Goldblatt. I really like really lyrical, whimsical writing. I think that's where like I thrive. I really like that type of like big, flowing, like flowery metaphors, and you're like a paragraph to describe like a whirl in a tree. I really, really like that. That's my type of author, and that's who I'd love to be inspired by. But I also really love really sharp, really funny rom-coms. So, hold on, I need to look at my bookshelf because I don't remember anyone's names. Obviously, Ali Hazelwood, like everybody.
Yes.
But, what's her book? I have all my contemporary romances on one shelf because I don't read many of them. Where is it? Anyway,
I've got 3 shelves dedicated on one. Like my bookshelf is 3 sections, and one section is just contemporary.
Yeah, because I never read contemporary romance like ever. I was like a huge fantasy girly. It's Rachel Solon Lynn. Rachel Solon Lynn. She wrote Business or Pleasure. Business or Pleasure, and that was like my intro to contemporary romance, and it was like so full of tension, so beautifully written, so believable, and I was like, I really love this. But yeah, I was never a contemporary romance reader, and then my friend Lauren Jones, who writes contemporary romance, or like women's fic, I got her books, and I was like, maybe I do like this. I was a bit of a snob. I was a fantasy snob. I'm not gonna deny it. I read like so much dude bro fantasy growing up, and then I was like, I can never read contemporary romance. I hate when they use telephones. I was like, I only want fae and swords and magic. How boring would it be if they didn't have fae and magic? I was wrong. I was so wrong. I love contemporary romance. I love it because it's like, especially really, really well written ones. It's like a masterclass in building tension and building like a believable banter too. So I read a lot of stuff like that for banter. But yeah, Ali Hazelwood is like my all-time favorite author. She's up there with like Holly Black, because she just writes like beautiful banter, and like her smut scenes are also very beautifully written, and not gratuitous. Like I obviously read lots of smut, as all us girlies do, and sometimes I'm like, oh, that's a lot of. I think I need to go read a YA because that's too much, too many uses of the word penis and pussy and all that sort of stuff.
I will say my one word that every time I see it in a book, when I see the word mule.
What?
Ooh.
MEWL.
Oh, right. Yeah. I think that mule isn't the animal.
No, every time I see the word mule, I go, fuck, what an ass. I'm still funny after a long day of talking, guys.
Oh my god, good job. That was a good one.
Yeah, there's some words or like just some descriptions in smut scenes and you're like, oh, I probably didn't need that.
Literally. And I don't, maybe it's my personal preference of reading is that I love smut scenes that you kind of like don't really know what's going on. Like it's like kind of like the illusion. In Rebecca Ross, I think it's the second Divine Rivals book. They're like in a committee. They're like it's YA, so there's obviously no descriptions, but they have this really very hot like sex scene on a table in an office, but like there's no like words that describe it.
Yeah,
it's just like the illusion of it, which I think that's a really masterful way to do it. Like I like writing, like when I write smut scenes, I like having like descriptor words, like cock, and I use the word cunt, but like because it's fantasy, I don't use the word pussy or anything like that. But like
you're also Australian.
Yeah. vocab. So like I use those types of words, but I try to make it more emotionally driven, and like more less about the act and more about the emotion behind the act. Because I cringe I like make myself cringe. I usually write like really gratuitous sex scenes, and then I have to edit them back because I'm like, oh, that's too much. No one can read that. No one can read that.
I want to read it.
Look,
no one can know that I wrote that.
Gimme.
Well, for book 2, it's cut from the book, unfortunately. I might release it as like a bonus thing, but I wrote the beginnings of a threesome between Mia and the boys. And then I wrote, and I was like, oh no, I was like, how does this work? And then I had to like go and think about like, I had to go like in my like mind palace and work out how like
yeah, okay,
like,
sure.
Where everything goes, yeah.
Give us what
I'll never forget being in Celia's street team, Celia Rock, and there's like this 5-person sort of scene, and she was like drawing stick figure diagrams to figure everything out.
Because like you're like, is that gonna work? But also, we're in a fantasy world. Like
anything can work.
I don't get too like nitty and gritty here. Like they don't like have lube and stuff. Like it's just like olive oil and spit. So like I'm just like, how does? I was like, how's this gonna work? I was like, okay, no, I've got to cut it. This is a book 3. This is a book 3 scene. Like we need like other things need to happen before they can all get down to business. But like I was like, I had to wheel myself back because I write them really gratuitously, and I'm like, no, I have to look readers in the eye. No, there's a line in Shadows that I like desperately want to take out because I wrote it. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be so hot. This is gonna get the girlies going. And then I wrote it, and I was like, oh, actually, I gave myself the ick for myself, and I'm like, ew, you thought about this? Ew,
that is so funny.
And, Shadows is getting like a little bit of a facelift. It's getting like re-edited and it's everything remains the same. But like that line has gotten taken out. I've changed it to something else because I was like, no, I can't do it. Should I tell you what the line is? Let me get it up. Actually, maybe I should find an. I actually have a book. Maybe I should find in the book and not look at my Kindle. Here you go. But yeah, like. But yeah, I like. Where is it? Actually, maybe I have to look it up in my Kindle because I actually don't know where it is. Because everyone's like, I'm up to chapter this, and I'm like, where is that in the book?
Yes, that is a chapter in my book.
Yeah, or they're like, oh, I'm up to I'm like 72%. I'm like, where? What? I was like, what's happening in the scene?
Give me scene details, not just numbers.
But I wrote it. You don't need to spoil it for me.
I wrote it. I don't know what happens anymore.
Oh, no, let me find. Oh my god, I used the word mess a lot. Whoa. Oh, here it is. Oh, this is so cringe. So like Mia and Idris are being intimate. I think it's after Luke meets his untimely demise. And she's in his bed, and they're like, oh, very much timely. Actually, no, very much timely. And he says, "Good, because I want you to make a mess all over my face."
Okay, I'm glad you took that out.
Yeah, I was like, oh, the girl's gonna love this, and then I polished it, and I was like, oh no, I hate that line. Oh, I think I don't know what I placed it with. I think it's probably something as equally as like gross, but like, but that's the thing. Like, I have to like be really mindful, or else I like get like this whole body from it. I'm like, and then people are like, do you know? Someone told me once. This is probably like getting into like these parasocial relationships. Like someone messaged me, and I'm pretty like friendly by DMs. Like someone's messaged me, I'll have a chat with you, and then she messaged me, and she was like, "Oh, I loved your book," and I was like, "Oh, thank you." She's like, "It was a one-handed read," and I was like, "Girl, did we read the same? Did you read the same book?" I was like, "Are you just?" I was like,
okay, look, I am a girl who I do not believe in TMI. I'm a nurse. I don't have a filter, but there are some things that you need to keep to yourself.
But I was like, if I wrote like a smutty book, like if I wrote Kiss the Basilisk, yeah, like maybe not tell me, but like yeah, it makes sense. Like it's hot, but like I was like, did we read the same book?
I don't think you really. I
was like,
it's really like it's funny because like I've had this discussion with some of my other friends, and she was like, because people were talking about like, you know, books that their husband like got like enjoyed the book even though they didn't read the book, and she's like, do you actually like get turned on from these books? And I'm like, no, like it doesn't work. Like some people it does, like they get turned on from it, and that's like they're fun, but like for me, it's just like no, like it doesn't.
It's just you're reading something. Like it's like
Yeah,
okay, cool.
yeah,
like,
exactly. And it having aphantasia too is like I can't see anything in my brain. Like you describe something and I'm like, yeah, cool, I know what that is because I've I've seen a penis before, like that sort of thing. But like, no.
See, even like it's like even with my overactive imagination, even when I get to those scenes, it's like my brain just goes nope.
Yeah,
my
like
brain goes fade to black, and I'm reading
Yeah.
it, and that's why I think I can read it so seriously in public.
Yeah.
Is like I'm just like cool. These are words. They are banging.
Yeah.
Like I've waited this long.
Yeah, they're finally doing
like
it.
like I could read like every book that I could read couldn't have like if it didn't have a smut scene, like that doesn't bother me at all. Like there's so many like YA books or like VB Lacey's books and stuff like that, like who don't have smut, but
also
I still
like
really
tension.
like them.
Tension.
Like tension's where it's at. So like I don't mind smut. Like don't get me wrong, I read Ellie Hazel, guys. Come on, like her men are all the same. So like
big giant men.
Yeah, build it like a fridge. Like so like so but I really like tension. So like I was reading Ballad of Ever After by Stephanie Gabe. That was like one of my all-time favorite reads because the tension between the two main characters like had me like actively like being like, you need to kiss. They can't kiss. You need to kiss. Like you need to do something like to break this tension because it's like that's what gets me like that gets me going.
Yeah,
like gets me like excited about books and like and yeah, if they sleep together, like I read Elsie Silver like the first series, like the Powerless, Reckless, and I was like, oh, Daddy K, 1000%, yeah. But I wasn't like getting hot and bothered over it. I was like, come on. I was like, where's the plot? I was like, okay, I get it.
It's like when it happens, you're like, yeah, finally, like they've done it. Like now we can carry on with the rest of the plot.
Realistic, move on. Give me the story.
Oh, they're like, it's like I read Doves and Demons, and that's it's like a monster romance, and it's like 9 chapters where she's just getting like railed, and I'm just like praying for her. I was like, oh my god, girlfriend, you're gonna have friction burns after this, and I'm just like, all right, oh wow, his whole fist is inside of her. I was like, yeah, this is it.
Girl's gonna need a doctor. She's gonna need a gynecologist. She's gonna need a plastic surgeon to put it all back together.
I know, she's gonna need a Panadol and a sizz bath, like
and an ice bath.
Yeah,
just like
I was like, you're gonna be sore, but those books, you know what you're kind of going into, but yeah, I've never been like, I'm like, close my book. Hold on, close my book. Where's my husband? I think it's also like, I'm a speed reader, so I'm just like speed reading it. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. This is where we're at. So, but no shame to anyone who does. Like, I think erotica has a big like a part of this. I think having stimulation through books is absolutely fine. And if
kudos to you.
Yeah, do what you need to do, girl.
Yeah.
Pleasure is pleasure.
Exactly. Yeah, and if those books are getting you off, great.
All
they just don't do it for me.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Like, but yes, I have lots of things in my in my little edit thing that I'm like, ooh, that's too far. That's too far, Demi. Because I'm like, I could write like a muddy sex scene, and I'm like, oh no, I have to look a reader in the eye after this. Like, I can't do that. That's not me.
Look, confidence of a 4-year-old in a Batman t-shirt. Just do it.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe book 2 is probably the same amount of spice as book 1. So yeah.
Yeah, but then again, like you just have to be authentic to you and write what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because you don't want to be one of those people who just writes the smut to get the smut people to read your books. Like they just won't enjoy it. They'll we're all here just for the just as much as for the characters and the plot and the whole storyline, not just the smut. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is it my question or your question?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Sorry?
We went on a big tangent after we talked about
who inspires your writing, and that's
yeah.
what we're
I was like reading the questions like, what question was asked?
I don't know. Look, all I know, it's... Oh, fuck, it's 8 o'clock.
You get to sleep after this, I promise.
I need to have a shower and clean the cat's dirt box. I got so much to do. What is your plotting planning process? Are you a plotter or a pantser?
I'm a in between. I'm a plantser. So I used to be a pantser all the way, and then I was like writing myself into corners and into big plot holes where I'd have to go back and do like big rewrites. So my friend again Lauren, who is the testament to me, is now I'm a bit of a plotter. So I know I don't like plot everything. I kind of just know where I'm going, and I write better that way. If I know where I'm going and I know what kind of like is happening in the scene, I write better. And it helps me kind of stay on track because I am like a big overwriter, so I like write lots and lots and lots and lots, and I have to go and like weed back. It's like a big vine, and like then there's little vines off it, so that I have to go weed it all back to the major vine because I love making things very complicated for myself. I just love chaos. And then we'll be at lunch and I'm thinking about doing this, and they're like, please no more. Save that idea for another book. And I'm like, yeah, but it works so well. So
you're like, let me do what I want.
I know, literally, but they're like, you need to be wrangled because I just am like I'm a little bit loosey goosey, and it doesn't work if you're writing like a big fantasy novel like series. But yeah, I'm definitely a plantser. I wish I could be a plotter. I wish, but like I'm like it like stifles my creative flow, and I often have to listen to what the characters are telling me. And I often do multiple versions of things. Like book 2, for Shadows had maybe 3 different plot lines that I was like, the first one I was like, oh, I'm not really happy with. The second one I was like, nah, I'm not really happy with that either. But then, and my beta readers were definitely not happy with. They were very upset the way I was taking the book. And then the third one, all my betas were like, this is it. And that was from a combination of being like kind of like I started plotting more and started being like, okay, let's not just be a chaos gremlin, and think about this like actually properly. And now I have like spreadsheets that has overarching plot lines and overarching character development, things where I need to get to. Say, for example, for book 3. So book 2 started as one POV, started with only one me as POV. And then I sent it off to my beta readers and they're like, it's missing something. Like, she's just like wallowing for a bit. Like, she's sad. She's wallowing for a bit. They're like, we need something fun. And I was like, all right, let's just add another POV. What's Idris doing? So there's 2 POVs in book 2. And so I had to be like, what would Idris be doing? And you'll find out what Idris is doing in book 2 when it comes out. No spoilers. So then I was like, okay, I have to plot that. I actually have to plot that because I actually have to meet up with what Mia is doing, and the timeline has to meet up, and all that sort of stuff. So then I got to do that, and I was like, oh, this is actually a really good way to write. I can't just be like a chaos gremlin and just like do what I want. It also helps me stay focused and write faster as well. Yeah, damn it. Yeah, that's it. Literally, I'm like, please, just let me be free. And they're like, that, we have to plot. I'm like in the corner, like, please plot. But like, so like, that's the thing. Like, I have to, it keeps me on track, and I have pretty tight deadlines with things. So I call it my secret project. I'm writing another series. That's set in the same world as Shadows, but set on a different continent. So that is kind of like a little secret project that I'm working on. So like that, I actually have plotted that because I'm like, well, I want to get this out. I want to write on a deadline, and I kind of want to like see how that goes with actually plotting something for once, and kind of see if that stops me having to like do heaps of like not backtracking, but heaps of like kind of like world building in the second book, because that's what I kind of had to do with Shadows too, is that I had to be like, oh, she's not just searching for her sister's killer anymore. you have to like, you actually have to learn about the world. She's not in Alderdon anymore. Like, oh no. How
She's
does magic
going on an
work?
adventure.
I was like, how does magic work again? So to stop me doing that and being like, I have to explain everything again, or explain things which probably should have happened in book one. Like that stops me from those kind of like, just kind of like beginner errors. Like you're gonna think like Shadows is like my second ever completed novel. And like there's so much to learn. Like I would think lots of authors with lots and lots of books still have lots to learn. So then it's like that's how I kind of creatively flow now. It's like I kind of plot, I kind of just like know where I'm going, and then once I get like the structure, like the bones down, that's when I go into do scene by scene, and then I go fill out scenes. So that's how I kind of like do it. And it kind of works. It works with the Rose. So like, and hopefully it works with book 3. So because I had to add another POV, I had to split book 2 and I had to push book 2, some of book 2 stuff into book 3, and so that's actually helping me kind of like work out plot beats and stuff. So that's helpful. And don't worry, you'll get your threesome scene in book 3. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah.
And I'll work out how it all works in a fantasy world.
Draw it like Celia did.
Draw diagrams. Yeah.
Draw diagrams, and then send it to us, and we can be like, yes.
Yes.
It's not about like where people are. It's more about like how it all works. But
that's what she was trying to figure out. That's why she drew it.
Like
no, I mean I think she means like lubricant and
yes.
Olive oil and spit, as you said.
Lots of spit.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, but like
she's getting the ick.
I love a spit into hand, but like I don't know about that. But we shall see. You guys can be the first to know how I write it.
Yeah.
So what was harder to write? Was it book 1, book 2, or the novella?
Oh, the novella was so easy to write because like I was like free. I had no like I had no constraints. Like I could just do what I want because like that's like an inconsequential story really in the grand scheme of things. Book 2's been a bit more trickier to write. I think because it's set in one, essentially all of the book is set in one manor. So it's called Thornwick. The whole book is essentially set there. And Idris is out gallivanting around. Don't worry about Idris. He's like roaming about. But me is like, her whole story is kind of set in this one manor. And I was like, ooh, is that boring? And I was like, I had a big worry that this book would be boring. And I had lots of discussions with my editor and my beta team. And they're like, it's not boring, things are happening. But like the fact that it's again set just one in one place, you don't get to see much of the world. Which I kind of like did on purpose because like I obviously read lots of fantasy, but they're like just like long adventurous stories, and like you see like 17 places, but you don't really get to feel lived in any of those places.
Yeah.
Whereas like in book 1, Alderdon feels really. I did really mindful to make it feel really lived in, and like that you're centered in this city, so the city feels alive. And I did that with book 2. So yes, that's the hardest thing. Is like, is it boring? And I think that's like a lot of authors feel about book 2. Book 2 in a trilogy is often a bit more saggier because it's like you're often building to the final battle, or you're building to the final big plot thing, and it's like you kind of got to do a lot in book 2 to kind of like set everything up for book 3. So, and that's really tricky. And lots of readers kind of like go like, oh, why did you write it like that? Or like, I know lots of people talk about The Powerless by Lauren Roberts, and book 2 being like a bit more stagnant because she's setting up all the stuff that's to happen in the next book. But yeah, book 2 was harder. But the novella was so much fun to write. I love that novella. That's probably like one of my favorite. I can't choose. You know, let's pick favorites, but like that's probably one of my favorite books to write because like I could just be free. I could just write this journey, like little like mess. These two people just like yearning for each other, and it was just like so much fun because I loved like writing like tension that builds like through like Fork's proximity. Like like in the Rose, she has to give him lessons on manners, so they have to be together. But like things like him pulling her chair out for her, and then him leaning down, or like they're brushing carrots together. Carrots is like the horse that everyone loves. She's like a show stealer. But they're brushing carrots together, and he puts his hand over her hand on the comb, and I'm like, oh my god, am I?
It's my book. Her name's Anne. It's mine.
Well, there you go. I wrote it just for you. I hope you enjoy Henry.
Thank you. I love Henry. Thank you very much.
I love him too.
We love the daddies in this story.
Wait till you meet Mortius. Guys, wait till you meet Mortius.
I'm so excited.
He's so hot. I made him too hot.
Excited.
I made him too hot.
My daddy issues are screaming right now.
Oh, yeah.
Girl, I have daddy issues, but I can still fall in love with some daddies and books.
No, that's what I'm saying. I got daddy issues. I will take a daddy issue. I'll take another daddy issue. I'll take daddy issues for $5. Thanks, Alex.
You guys gotta. This is a little like, this is not a spoiler, but they're in this manor. So, and she's like perusing along, and she's eating this apple, and he like plucks it out of her hand, and then bites it like so their mouths meet on the apple. And I'm like, because I've been reading, I read lots of like memoir and like watch a lot of like K-dramas, and they do a lot of incidental kisses, and it's like, I'm like, incidental kiss, but it's so hot, and I'm just like, oh my god. And that was one of my favorite scenes to write, because he does it on purpose, and like I'm like, but it's like, it's so exciting. I won't give you any more spoilers, but that's not a spoiler, but that was an exciting concept.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
I'm very excited.
All my beta team are very torn about him, so enjoy.
Ooh.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Who was your favorite character to write?
Ooh. I think my favorite. It's really tricky because I like a few characters for different reasons, but I really liked writing Idris. I think Idris is a really interesting character. He's like just this ball of like regret and like worthlessness, and it's like really like writing his POV was really fun in book 2, because it's him just trying to like reclaim kind of, it's kind of like what me was trying to do in book 1, and he's trying to reclaim kind of who he is, and he's like beautiful to write because he's so in love with Mia. But I think I loved writing Anne. Anne was so much fun to write in the novella because she just like gives no fucks.
She does. She fucks.
She's like, that's my man. She's like, and she's just like spotted him across the forest. It's like, that's my man.
Love it. Yeah. We love a woman who knows what she wants.
Is that what you did? And then you're like, yep, moving to New Zealand.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, that's it, done and dusted.
Yeah,
he's mine. I'm moving halfway across the world to like, so he's stuck with me forever.
Yeah, that's it, girl. I feel that.
Beautiful.
But yeah, so she was the funnest to write.
Yeah, Anna's just, I love her. She's a queen.
I also like her in Shadows too. I think in Shadows she's like a big supporter for Mia, whereas Henry's like, I need to make sure everyone is like, we're like seen as this like good family, that it's like where reputation is good, obviously because of what he had to go through to kind of like be a lord in the city, or be like a part of the council, where Anne is like unapologetically like herself and apologetically supports Mia. Like she's like, I'll go to bat with you. She's like, girlfriend, if you murder somebody, it's fine. You should have come with me. I would have helped you bury the body. Like she's just like, she loves Mia. She loves me with all her heart. And I think that's a really beautiful way to be when Mia's adopted. So like, and they see Mia as their daughter, which I think is really beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. And also she gets Henry, and Henry's like he's so beautiful. Anyway, but I can't be in love with my own character. It's weird.
What is your favorite quote from These Shadows Become Her?
Oh, my favorite quote. I think I I have two favorite quotes. So one, I always, because I have a little stamp, so I stamp all my books with a quote, and it's actually what I did here. I'll show you because this is like a dead copy. So it's like, oh no, that's from The Rose of the Warrior. This one's my favorite from The Rose of the Warrior. It's My Heart is Fragile, Broken, Utterly Yours. I think that's my favorite from The Rose of the Warrior. But from Shadows, it's you're worth more than the star in the sky and the gold in the earth. I think that was really beautiful. That's beautiful that it came from Callie and not from a man. Like, and I had to tell lots of people that it's from her sister and not from Idris, because I think that's more powerful when it comes from someone that's like just not like in love with you. Like to be like, you're so much worth, you're like worth all these things,
especially from your sister.
Yeah. And that your sister, and you're literally like your sister's like. You're literally like to your sister, like, am I worthless? And she's like, no. She's like, you're not worthless. You're invaluable. And I think that was really beautiful, and I think that helps with their relationship. But I also like the scene where she's fighting with Henry, and she's like, and it's like he's like, I've seen what you've been doing downtown, like. He's essentially like slut shaming her, and she's like, and you know what? And they're like, fighting about it, and she's like, you know what? The whiskey and the men, they did nothing, and all they did was make me hate myself more. And I think that was such a powerful. And I remember when I wrote that, I was like, that is a powerful quote. And because I actually added that scene like 2 weeks before it was published, because I was like, oh, I need something else. Where's Henry? Like, I need another scene. And my editor was like. And I was like, I'm not going to pull any punches, because he's like, what are you doing? Like, you're being so silly. And then, like, and I think that was a really beautiful moment in their relationship, because he's like, you've forgiven me. And she's like, well, I haven't forgiven myself for what I did. And like all these things that I did to kind of band-aid that pain, it didn't help. And I think that's like a nice turning moment for her. And like a nice acknowledgement that she's like, yeah, it didn't help. Like none of it helped. Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful quotes. Love it.
My final question, and then my brain's turning off. What is next for you?
Like my next book? What?
Anything. Next book, next event.
Okay. So my next book is These Memories That Bind Her, is book 2 in the series, the Divine Bride series. It comes out on the 27th of November. I'm very excited. It's literally like done, which is very exciting to be this done before a release, because often I'm madly trying to finish the book. So that's and then I have Supernova. So Supernova in Brisbane, it's on the 6th of November to the 8th of November, so 3 days here in Brisbane. And then I have the She Journeys Heroes and Villains Ball, which is very exciting. I get to sign for a little bit and then get to go have fun. So that's a nice way to end the year. And then I'm working on some little projects that I can't really speak about right now, but hopefully I can reveal some of my secrets soon. So yes.
My last question, what can we expect from book 2? Like vibes, like
trauma,
tropes. Yeah, trauma.
The vibes are, wait, is his dad hot?
The answer is yes.
Always.
So that's one of the vibes. The vibes is surviving by any means necessary. So yes, and then it's kind of like new unknown love, because the boyfriends become boyfriends. So Idris and Win are transversing to get Mia, and so the boyfriends become boyfriends. Yes.
We don't lose Win. Yes.
No, you don't lose Win. Win is like clad in so much plot armor that he will never leave.
Yeah, because I'm like, I loved their connection in book 1, and I was like, this needs to be a thing. Like,
it was so. I was sitting there going, yes,
I love him.
I like stood at the clock at night, like, yes. I think my flatmate heard me go, yes.
They're just drawn to each other. Why wouldn't I? He needs to be included here somewhere. But
yes.
Win comes into it, and you find out why he ran away right there in the book. You find out all these little things about him, and you find stuff about Idris as well. So like new love, and yeah, surviving by any means necessary. But it's a lot of like also like of like acceptance of who you are. I think her magic in this book is very much open and out, and so like she has to kind of accept that and kind of like embrace it a little bit. She's doing lots of acceptance work in this. She's just radically accepting everything, and she's like, "This is it, I guess."
Beautiful.
But yes, still emotional, still heartbreaking. Yeah,
but we're happy about it.
Yes, yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. I saw that ARC signups were open and I like ran so fast. I'm like, please. Like I ARC read Shadows. So I'm like, I need memories.
Yes, you do. Definitely do.
I'm looking forward to memories.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Watch me read it in a day again.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote it quicker this time, so hopefully next one.
Look, you're just typing fast to keep up with the rate that we read.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my god, I gotta do it really fast.
It's
it's the joke of I am writing this slow because I know you can't read that fast.
Yeah.
You are typing fast, so where you know that we can read faster.
This is like 520 pages, so that's pretty good effort if you read it in one day. That's a big compliment.
I've been on annual leave.
Fair.
Since my last day of work was on Tuesday, and I don't go back to work until Thursday next week.
Oh, gosh.
And Tuesday this week is going to be a recovery day after Armageddon. I've still got all day tomorrow and Monday.
Yeah. Oh, it's on Monday as well.
It's a long weekend here.
Yeah, they do it on the long weekend.
Smartly.
Yeah, and you're just a big binge reader in general. Whereas I like will read like 3 books at once. So like audio for at work, ebook while I'm on my lunch break and like eating breakfast, and then physical at home. So I'm just constantly like reading multiple books. Whereas you're more of like just you'll binge a book or 2 in a day.
Yeah. I'm like that as well. I'll like if I like a book, I can't stop reading it.
And I've had a couple of books at the moment that have been like that, where I've just sat down and I tried to read a book last night. Like I said goodnight to my friends, left them to their own devices, and I went to bed, opened my book, first page, nope.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this today. I can't do it tonight either.
The next time makes sense though.
No, you need
to doom scroll kind of night.
Fair. You turn your brain off.
Yeah.
Dinner, shower, bed.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Alrighty, so at the end of every single episode, we talk about our spark of joy and plug of the week. So our spark of joy is just anything that sparked a little bit of joy in our life this week, and to remind you that just things can be good, even if you've had a really shitty week like I have. And then our plug of the week can be absolutely anything from food to something really profound, like we do every so often. So yeah, Bree, what's your plug of or spark of joy? I almost did
my spark, despite the fact that I have been dying since probably 1 o'clock today, has been Armageddon. I had the absolute delight of getting to go around today and talking to some of the authors and doing like little on the spot interviews. And I've got a couple more authors to go and see tomorrow because I didn't get around to all of them because I was getting overstimulated with just how many fucking people there were. I got to a point where I'm like, nobody touch me. Like, I can't actually do this anymore.
Yeah, that's so fair.
And getting to see, friends. And I saw someone who I've not seen in 10 years.
Oh, wow.
She came to the table and she's looking at me. She's like, is your name Bree? And I'm like, how the fuck do you know who I am? And then she's looking at me, she's like, and we were trying to figure it out. Like, we were standing, like, she was standing there and I was sitting there going, I do know your face. And then she said her name and I'm like, did you used to work here? She's like, oh my God, we worked together. And my first ever job.
Holy shit.
When I was 16.
Whoa.
And so I saw her. I saw a friend from high school that I haven't seen in about 10 years. I saw a girl that I did my nursing studies with, and she's not a nurse. She left nursing studies to go and do film, and now she works in tech. So it's been really nice getting to, I know,
That was a pivot.
big jumps. So it's been really nice seeing people, and the cosplays have been amazing. I dressed as a hobbit today, and I felt pretty. And just getting to talk to everyone, and there were these people who were dressed as flowers, and they were giving like little things out. And I heard Marley say, "It's crackers and cheese. We have cheese." And I went, "Cheese?" And so I got this little crackers and cheese thing, and then they were dressed as like this gorgeous little bracelet.
Oh, I love it.
Cute.
It has just been such a good day. I am so tired. My voice is like trying to leave, and I've still got to go all day tomorrow and Monday. But it's been so nice being there to see Zoe do so well as well. Like, her books are selling, guys. Demi, Zoe says hi.
Oh,
hello. we've been upselling. We've been getting the books sold. It's been.
Oh, I love it! Yay!
So good. So I'm really proud of her. And it's been nice being able to be there and talk to everyone and be like, "Hey, you want to buy these books? Buy these fucking books. Otherwise, I won't invite you." But yeah, and met a new budding author as well, and I did interview her for the podcast as well.
Ooh,
Brother's Best Friend romance.
Oh,
come on,
love it.
I was like, "Girl, you need to like tell us like when this goes, because we will be like, we will want to read this and we will want you on the podcast."
100%. Yeah.
And she's a graphic designer, so she made her own cover, and it's
oh my god, she's gonna save herself so much money.
Right. So I have told her like get in touch with
absolutely.
us.
We need business cards.
We do. Yeah. We really do. Zoe needs business cards. That's my next mission.
Yeah.
But yeah, so despite the fact that I'm absolutely exhausted and I'm in a lot of pain, mentally, physically, not so much emotionally, it's been a big spark of joy. Anne, what's your spark of the week?
My spark of the week is the long weekend. It's about bloody time we have a long weekend. I hate how at the beginning of the year it's so jam-packed with long weekends, and then it hits like June and then there's nothing, and then you have to wait until like October, and then it just starts all over again, and I'm tired, guys. I've got so many things that I need to do always and forever. So it's just great that I get 3 days off and try and get ahead, because work is about to get really manic and I'm going to be working overtime. So if I can shift my butt into gear and get a lot of work done this weekend, because, author PAing, podcast, YouTube, Bookstagram, the whole shebang, takes up a lot of time, so it's going to be good to try and get ahead. But yeah, I'm very excited to also just curl up and read for quite a bit of the weekend, which would be great.
Yay!
So that's my spark of joy. What's your spark of joy, Demi?
I got very exciting art in my inbox yesterday.
Ooh!
So for my little messy throuple, so I'm really excited to show that. And I'm working with an artist that I've wanted to work with for a really long time, and I can't wait to show you guys. It'll be out. I can't keep anything a secret, so I'll probably release it like next week. So you'll
relatable.
I'll send it to you guys. I'll send it to you guys on the sly. But yeah, it's my little couple, and I really love the artwork, and I was like yes.
That's
I was like getting to edit, and I was like, yes, this is my treat.
Love it.
So good.
Artwork is just the best.
Yes. I'm a fiend, a scarily fiend for artwork. But yeah, that was my spark of joy.
Nice.
Amazing. And moving into our plug of the week, what's yours, Bree?
My plug of the week is there is a brand called Pressing Nails, which I believe are an Australian brand, and I have got these holographic. My middle fingers have love hearts.
Yeah. I actually thought they were like nail salon nails. They look so good.
They are. So my flatmate got them for me for my birthday. She got me a couple of different pairs, and I was like, these are my Armageddon nails, because I love to pull the finger at people. But I'm doing with love. They honestly they're like top tier gift from my flatmate, because I'm not allowed to have my nails done most of the time at work because I'm a nurse. But like my spark, like I love having like my stick on nails, because I can have them short as well. So being able to have long nails, and these
Yeah.
guys are so fucking, like, the quality is so good.
Oh, yeah.
So I like to plug the pressing nails, get you guys some holographic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look how cool they look.
I've seen so many ads for them, and like saying how long they last and they're reusable. I'm very excited.
They are reusable, and that's like the biggest thing for me. Is 'cause I love it.
Is glue? No glue?
You can do
Just
glue, or you
press-ons?
can do sticky.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you use glue?
Yes, because I talk with my
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, same. I'm so bad.
I'm
I
very
just
like
play with my nails, and then they just
Yeah.
go flying.
Yeah, I feel like they all flick off.
So check them out,
You glue
guys.
them.
They're
Okay,
worth
cool.
it. And what is your plug of the week? I'm watching my dude, like, it says he's arriving now, and I'm like, just bring me my fucking fried rice.
My plug of the week is The God Genome by Athena M. Bliss. It has just been released, and it's amazing. Book 3 in this Sons of Echidna series, and we love Marley and Athena here on this podcast, so I have to give them a little bit of a shout out. So yeah, that's definitely my plug. If you haven't read the series yet, what are you doing? Go read the series.
Stop wasting your own time.
It's time to pick up book 3.
If you are, oh wait, this podcast episode is coming out after Armageddon, so never mind.
Yeah. Just like, so if you were in the past and you were at Armageddon, you better have bought your copy of The God Genome. Demi, what's your plug of the week?
My plug of the week is Tales and Tomes. So Tales and Tomes is run by the beautiful Alicia, and she has just opened her first brick and mortar store with Tales and Tomes up in Caloundra, which is like an hour above where I live. And we're having a book launch there for These Memories That Bind Her, and I'm very excited because it's going to be one of the first book launches at her bookstore, and it's so beautiful and so exciting, and it's just like beautiful to have like beautiful just beautiful anyway. It's just lovely to have such a beautiful community in Brisbane to be able to do stuff like this. So you can get tickets now. They're very limited because the store is not very big, so that is my plug. Tales of Toes, but also check them out. They stock lots of all indie romance novels. They have lots of special editions. They have fun stuff like Lit Lines is in there. And there's a perfumery that's in there as well.
Yes. Those perfumes.
They smell so good, and they're very and the owner is lovely and beautiful as well. So yeah, so check them out.
Love it. We'll link everything down below for you guys to check out. So that is the end of our episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Make sure to subscribe so we know that you're here listening. We appreciate spending time with us today and every single day that you're here. You can follow me at Runaway Irish Girl on all platforms. Where can they find you, Bree?
You can find me. You don't have to. I'd rather you didn't. Don't find me. Where am I?
I see your brain literally go, shut down.
Cheese and Reeds.
Thank you. Guys, this is actually stupid.
Okay. Let me. You can follow Bree at Cheese and Reeds on all platforms.
Thank you.
Where can they find you, Demi?
You can find me at Demi Clorissa Rats on all platforms.
Amazing.
TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
And make sure to follow us on our Instagram and TikTok as well at The Broke Book Girls Pod. We will be uploading some very cool author interviews that Bree has done over Armageddon weekend. So make sure to tune in to check those out. And make sure to subscribe and follow on your listener of choice. And check back in every single Wednesday for a brand new episode at 10 a.m. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you for having me. Bye.